Good to see everybody again. I know it's been a minute, actually a month since we played, a little over a month. So when that much time goes by, things just become a blur. So we'll try our best to just recap and put everyone back into place to where we left off last session. So we are session 36. You're in the kill tube, as you as the group has dubbed it, the kill tube, but the smoking tower, as the DM had planned it to be. And it's, I think you are basically, last session you picked up on, and I'll move you into the map. You had climbed up the side of the tower to enter and had entered on what was the equivalent of the fourth floor, where you confronted a Spriggan gnome who I think you tricked. I don't remember who made the roll, but somebody I think made a critical success in convincing the Spriggan that you were just Ergothoans out for a night walk and strolling back into their to home base. And although it was against protocol, he fell for it and walked you down the tower to the entry point for what seems to be the half of the tower that the Ergothoans operate in, which is the lower half of the tower. So in that space, you had encountered a. Let me. I think I could probably move you guys around a little bit here. On the map, it would be over here where you saw the feast of the dead, as it might be, and the rot and decay that they celebrate. They invited you to partake in, and you, I think, tried to turn into a opportunity to learn a little bit, but also at the same time advance lower into the tower. So you fought, I think, cleared this place and returned, went down lower to the bottom level where you entered into this space. This is where I had us leaving off. Let's see, actually, it was like just like that. So you had descended further into the depth of the Ergothoan levels, and in this level, you saw a cultist who was, for lack of a understanding at this point, because you haven't looked at it, he was basically brewing something in this space, which looks an awful lot like blood to you on closer investigation. And so something disturbing that they were doing here that you stumbled upon in this room. And I think you dispatched of the cultists. I know I'm probably missing some things, but that's the framework of what I remember, what I recall. So if anyone else wants to add
Well, I
anything
know
they remember.
Fenwarden and Rekla got hit by something. I was just checking Fenwarden. He must have gotten healed up or something like that. But there was a saving throw that Rekla failed. So is Rekla okay?
I think that there was a necrotic damage that was done in the battle with the cultist. So there was a savings throw that I think
Yeah,
needed to
the
be made.
potion got splashed on a couple people,
Yeah.
and I think that was the failed save.
Yeah, because Rekla took damage, and that the Blood Vendetta is the thing that finally killed the Urgatho in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I would guess it's 17, then whatever that number is right before the blood vendetta, the 2d10, that would be my guess, but I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, you had used telekinetic projectile, I think, in this. I'm just scrolling.
I was doing that.
Yeah.
Yep. I blew up like one of the potions in his face.
Yeah, so it was a quick kill. I remember that much. This being a really quick
Yeah.
kill and sudden. So where we left off, you hadn't necessarily drawn attention to yourself because you all had dispatched of the only known threat in the space, and you didn't really have a chance to search anything. You haven't gone
Nope.
through anything. So this is where we'll pick up, is inside of what I'll call a blood lab, where they are doing some processing to blood that seems to be turning it into multiple products. None of which are
With my
probably you're too fond of being in your kingdom.
with my understanding of magic and the occult and all this jazz, arcana, etc., do I have any understanding of what's happening here and what's going on?
You can make an attempt to understand it if you'd like to. You could try. Yeah, that would be good. Let's see. So you get the sense that there's two different processes that are happening here with the blood that's being poured in, and one is just the first is some type of like filtering, after which they take it out of there to a second area, and they are mixing it with some other substance that's black. So it's like a black substance that they're mixing together with it in some ratio, and their equipment is dialed in to do this for them. All that needs to be
Do
done is to pour or input the liquid into these devices and then really just
I
watch it.
understand or have any idea of what, or any half ideas in terms of what the black substance is that's getting mixed in?
The it looks like it might be some type of different blood to you.
So two different types of blood
Yeah.
are potentially
hmm
getting, or a more processed blood is
And
getting mixed back in with a less processed blood.
more of the arcana
Blood
side
on
of
blood
this.
action.
This is more of like an alchemy check really than anything,
Yeah.
but I think what's happening is that it's creating some type of transmutation power to it, effect to it, is what your best guess is.
Okay. Do I have any idea of what the finished product might be? Is there a bottle of finished product?
Yeah, there are some bottles of it that seem to be the finished product for sure, and they are on this far corner over here. There's a table where they've got those
Then
in.
I'll go down there and I'll pack away a couple, maybe 6 bottles, and I'll take some time actually to pack them away so that they don't break or anything like that. Because I imagine they're dangerous.
Let's see. The other thing is I'll let you guys search this cultist, who I don't think you had a chance to search. He does have a an obvious holy symbol to Urgathoa that hangs from his neck that's made of or I'm sorry, it's made of silver. And what else does he have? He has a dagger. They have those ritual daggers. So they're the curved blade daggers. And other than that, just robes, just his garb, which sort of functions as leather armor, really. So that's what's on him. But in the rest of the space, all kinds of glassware and alchemy equipment strewn about, quite delicate, like I said, but something if you follow it and you look at it long enough, you can get a sense of what they're doing. And I'm going to have everybody roll a perception check here. So I would say at some point, as you're all looking at the equipment, Fen Warden and Dalit, you kind of look at each other like you hear something. Like, who's breathing so loud? Like you're looking at each other trying to figure out if it's one of you at first, and the two of you then think, "Oh, I hear breathing sound." And Joe, you get the sense that it's coming from the north wall. You might be muted. Are you guys hearing him?
Sorry. So up in this direction up here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Fen Warden will hold his hand up to try to get everybody to be quiet so we can see if we can hear it better, and he'll point in that direction to try to get everybody to look and see if we can see anything.
Okay, so if you guys want to you can do a second perception check here. Now that you've been alerted to the sound and everybody is still and you're focused on the area, you'll have a better chance here. Wow, some
Yeah.
really much better rolls. So immediately you all hear it. You hear the sound of this breathing that, again, there's noise in this tower, right? There's definitely noise from the chimney, but this sounds distinctly different. And when you take a closer look at that north wall, that what appears to be a lever that's hidden on the upper part of the wall. It's not the easiest thing to see at first, but it's about maybe 8 or 9 feet high.
But the breathing noise is coming from.
It seems to be coming from the wall.
Really? Oh, we could try the lever. The wall will open. We might be able to see what's behind it that's breathing. Might want to be ready for that.
You want to be ready? I can pull.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might want to step to the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll give guidance to whoever's gonna pull that lever.
Yeah, I'll check the lever and check it to make sure it doesn't have traps or anything on it, and then give it a pull.
Okay.
All right, so the lever, let's see, the lever is right here. That's where you would be standing or landing if
Okay.
you're climbing up to get it. All right. So you pull on this lever and you hang on it for a second. It takes a little bit of force, but it pulls down. And as it does, you start to hear some creaking and turning and movement coming from this wall as it slides to the side and opens up. And behind the wall, it is dark, but let me shed some light on that. Suddenly, as you focus on the dark space, multiple headed creature emerge from what appears to be a shackled cell, and
Put the lever back there, Sydney.
Yeah, I was just saying I put the lever in order to let go.
it is a serpentine looking beast with multiple heads. The heads themselves, it appears that there are actually 5 necks, but there are only 3 heads on it. So 2 of the heads of the creature are cut off. So this thing is, as you take a closer look, not closer look, but a quick look, you see it does have some type of metal shackle around its waist that's keeping it from leaving the space that it's in right now. But it is like flailing blindly towards the now open door, and I'm gonna have you guys roll initiative. Let's see. Here we go. Before you do, let me clear this. Jeez, it always doubles up. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully this time it's. There we go.
Oh, nice.
I want to keep my initiative, so can you put it in there for me?
You can, if you, yeah.
You just roll again and edit it
Oh.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, nice to get that out of the system.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. I think then we've got. Oh, Fenwarden. There we go.
There. Okay. Took 2 tries.
All right. Dalit, you are going to get the first action here as this thing. You're not sure how much leash it has on its chain, but it is chained in some way and missing a couple of heads, but nonetheless looks fierce and fiery and fixated at this point on the disturbance.
Okay, and it's trapped in this room, right? The door is big enough for it to get out?
It is, yeah.
Huh. All right. I guess I'll move in and attack.
All right. Let's see.
Yes, okay.
26 is a hit.
Okay. And then, since I don't know exactly what's going to happen with it, I'm just going to move out again. Stay close, but get out of the way.
All right. All right. Yeah, you have successfully dodged and weaved and gone in and slashed this thing for a good chunk of damage. And now, you have any other action? Or is that it?
Nah, that's everything.
Okay. All right. Now this thing it knows what the deal is, and it is going to, let's see. try to take this opportunity to leap for the closest threats. So it's going to attack both Sydney and Dalit here with bite attacks from separate fangs. So one is on Sydney first. 26. Sydney, that hits you. That's 11 damage. So you have been
Yeah, that hits.
hit. Let's see. Oh, okay. And so the one of the abilities of the creature is the Storm of Jaws, where it can make an attack without it being a second attack, third attack. It basically they're all first attacks for it. So the second attack is going to be on Dalit. 21.
That misses.
All right, and then its last attack will be on Dalit. 23.
That hits.
All right, so 14 piercing damage.
Oh.
And let's just see one more thing. I think it's got. Oh, okay. No, I'm just reading about it. It's all right. That is it for it at the moment. Fenwarden.
All right. Let's see. We'll hunt prey and then try the longbow. Let's see. A regular shot in this case.
It is AC 23.
What did I roll? 2. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's gonna try again. You can't leave it at that. And a miss. Dang.
Uh-oh. The bow is just it's cold right now. It hasn't been out for a while. That's all. You're just warming it back up.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it for Fenwarden?
That is it. Yes.
Okay. All right, Sydney.
Yeah, so for my first action, I am going to move back to where Fenwarden is. And during that move, I will use my second action to pull out my crossbow and take aim from what looks like a table or something at the creature with the crossbow. And then I am going to, with my third action, shoot said crossbow with all the hopes and prayers that I have. Here we go.
Here we go. You rolled a 4.
Yeah, is that a critical miss?
No, it's not quite.
Even had I hit the damage, wasn't going to do it. So I shoot wildly into the door frame.
There's a few arrows there already. This thing has got you all on edge.
That is my turn. Thank you.
Okay. Rekla.
All right. So what are we at here? 20 feet. Okay. So Rekla will take a step forward. I guess he'll move to right there, and he'll drop spray of stars.
Oh.
Okay.
Can't imagine this thing has good reflexes.
It does have a minus, but it still passes.
Yeah.
With that roll.
All right. That was his turn.
All right.
Good call here.
It was worth the attempt. Dalit.
Okay. I'm going to try to do a snagging strike against this thing.
Nice. Against one of the heads?
Yeah. Let's see if I can cause some.
There you go. That's a hit.
Cool. All right. Now that head is flat-footed, I'm going to try attacking it again. I think that misses.
Yeah, I think that just misses.
All right. With my last action, then I'm going to take out a lesser healing potion and just have it in hand.
Okay. All right. All right. So the Hydra is back up, and the Hydra is now going to, let's see if it wants to use a different. Sorry. Wow. Okay. I think it's just going to stick with the Storm of Jaws. That seems like the safer bet here. This is all right. So 1, 2, 3. So it's going in the going to go in the same order as last round here, and so it's I think 2 hits. It looks like both 1 hit against is that Sydney? Rekla. It looks like Rekla, and 1 hit against Dalit. So 10 points to Rekla and 15 points to Dalit. You've been
That is
bit by
30 points to me.
Oh, that's a crit on you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 34? Yeah, that's pretty still.
I only have 6 left, so I'm glad I took out that potion.
That was smart.
Ah.
That was good foreshadowing. So yeah, this thing has bit and missed, but taken chunks of both of you along the way. It's again just going to continue to target those of you that it can reach, and that's it for it. So it's Fenwarden again.
Okay, I'm using 100 shot against the head that's flat-footed. So
you get
that'll be
two more. Yeah.
That brings its AC down by 2. First shot. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. That's not hitting.
2. You rolled a 2.
Yeah, that's the second time. And then the second shot, that's a little better.
Much. That is a hit.
And then
6 piercing.
I've got my bonus against him for the first shot. An additional 2.
All right. The longbow
And
strike
then-
hits though.
Yeah, I still got a couple of actions left. How can I help here? I think I need to give him another target. I will raise a shield and I'll move up here with Dalit.
Nice. Form in a line. Okay. Next is Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. Boss, I don't think that's a real great idea. And he's gonna take 2 actions to reload the crossbow. My third action to shoot it. I'd get out of there if I was you. You're just gonna get chewed on.
There you go. That hits.
Yeah.
2 damage,
2 damage.
but it hits. All right. So you've got now which head were you aiming for? So I'm gonna say we've got 1, 2, 3. 1 is the one that's been attacking Rekla, and 2, 3 have been attacking Dalit. The third one being the one that is flat-footed and grabbed by him.
I think the second one is the one that is closest to Fenwarden, is Fenwarden's aim, and I was supporting his charge.
Okay.
So I will have shot the one that is closest to Fenwarden, supporting his charge.
Got it. All right. And Rekla.
All right, Rekla is going to first move over behind Dalit, and then
You will incur an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. Yikes. 26 should be a hit. 18 damage.
Yeah, 18 damage. Okay, this is actually okay. I've got some questions now. If Blood Vendetta is a reaction, I'll still have the rest of my actions in my turn?
Yeah,
Okay.
This is true. All right, so Will.
Nice.
As a follow-up, he wouldn't get his reaction back again until his next turn, correct?
Yep.
Reactions forever.
Oh, you have reactions. Oh, yeah, because they just whatever, as long as they get triggered, as long as the trigger.
Yeah, triggers, but yeah, I think you only get 1 reaction per turn. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you for walking me through the mechanic real quick. Appreciate it.
And then with the rest of Rekla's turn, he's going to boop the Aldori dueling sword and make it magical for a minute.
What?
Yeah, 1 minute.
What damage did you do?
Oh,
I guess I have to roll 2d6. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna apply that towards the head that attacked you. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. You've now given Dalit the extra boost to his sword. Dalit, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to take that lesser healing potion now. I think it's easiest to do. Is that how you roll the dice? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so that would be opening it, breaking it, that's 2 actions. So then I'm just going to take another snagging strike at that head, just try to refresh that. Cool.
Oh, there you go. That's a hit. Okay. So 12 off of that one.
Is that the same head? So head number 3?
Yeah, head number 3 took another shot there. Oops.
Okay.
And you get another damage dice.
Oh, I gain damage dice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
increases it to
Ew.
2.
Oh, how does this work? Because this already has 2d8. Do I just get another d8? Or do I get 4?
Let's
No,
see,
you get
increasing the number
one
of
more.
weapon damage. You get one more, I think. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, that's good. All right, and that's on the third head?
Yeah.
All right, that thing is looking rough. Okay.
I'm working on it.
All right, it is going to try to break free of your hold. So I think it is, what is the athletics check versus, let me double check this.
Shoot. I'll be right back.
I think it's against my athletics DC, which in this case would be 23.
Oh, okay, so it has to do an athletics check versus your,
Yeah.
okay.
Let me see.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's gonna probably break it free.
Oh, it's an unarmed attack against the athletics DC. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Unarmed attack. Let's see. His unarmed
Yeah.
attack is a bite anyway, so it has to roll higher than a 23 in order to break free.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Oh.
Okay. So that one's still held. So now the other two heads, one is going to target, the first head will target Fenwarden, and the second head will target Dalit. So the first one looks like it was another big bite, 18 points of damage to Fenwarden, and I don't know, does 23 hit you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
hits.
Just hits, okay.
Fenwarden's
Yeah.
going to do the shield thing against that. I'm trying to remember what that is. Shield block. That's right.
So you're
How
gonna,
that works.
how does that work? Is it like absorb the damage?
Yeah, you ward off a blow with your shield. Because I already had it raised. It prevents you from taking the amount of damage up to the shield's hardness. So, hardness of the shield.
Oh, it says that you and your shield each take the amount of damage equal to the attack's damage reduced by the shield's hardness.
Right. That's kind of what
Okay.
the hardness is of a shield.
What kind of shield is it?
Let's see. See if hopefully I have that.
Otherwise, we'll just kind of say it's probably a medium shield.
Yeah, yeah, it must be a medium shield. I don't have anything. Wooden shield, yeah.
Okay, so it's a
But
hardness of 3.
3. Okay, so it reduces it by 3. I think 15. Got it.
Okay, so that's it for the Hydra. It's your turn, Fenwarden.
All right. I'm standing there as a nice target, but unarmed. So I think I'll draw a sword and take an attack with my short shadow sword.
Okay. Ooh, that's a hit. And 7
Okay.
damage to head number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that also, oh no, I've got to get a critical. Never mind. So yeah, 7 damage. I think I can, sorry, I got to check if I can use the additional damage if it's not a ranged weapon. Hunter's Edge. Also doing the precision damage increases. I think I can. Okay.
Ah.
So an additional 6 on that one. And then,
Okay, so that first head slumps over.
all right. So we have 2 heads left. Okay, his last action, he'll get a second attack with the sword. He's going to go for head number 2.
Okay.
Shot number 2, and I assume that doesn't work. And he's done.
Okay. All right, Sydney. One of the heads down, one of the heads held. One of them still attacking.
Yeah, so with Dalit holding one of the heads steady, I feel like I might have a chance at a shot. So I'm going to reload my crossbow, use the table here to steady my aim, give myself a little guidance. Just a second. Give myself a little guidance for one action.
Yes, you'll have.
And then shoot my crossbow and
Yes.
hope to hit the one that Dalit is holding and finish it off.
That is a hit with the +3 on top as well. It's a hit. So the damage here is 6. Okay, that's it. That's almost exactly what you needed. Is one more than you needed. So this bolt, this heavy crossbow bolt, strikes the head as Dalet's holding it, and maybe like even right under where you have a grip of this thing, you see the bolt go right through its neck, and then it just stops resisting.
Sick heavy. Oh!
What else, Sydney? You got any other
No,
tricks?
that is my third action is shooting it. So
Okay.
it is my turn.
All right, Rekla.
All right.
Head.
Rekla's going to cast heal on Dalit at a heightened level. I'm heightening this to level 3. So he's going to get 2 extra 2d8.
And that's just Dalit, right? It's not
Yeah.
a range. Okay.
So 21
Cool.
to
Thank
Dalit.
There you go.
And then,
I think I'm going to be double fisting healing potions after this anyway.
yeah. He's going to, with his last action, cast Vision of Weakness on the Hydra. See if there's any special weakness that could be useful to know.
Oh, good question. Let's see. What is it? What I'll tell you isn't so much useful now, but it might be useful later, which is that the Hydra does regenerate. So one of those things about it is that once it's missing heads, its regeneration starts to slow down, but it's always regenerating unless it's destroyed.
Got it.
Let's see.
So its weakness is its regeneration slows down if you remove its heads.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's if you don't cauterize the stumps of the heads, it'll grow 2 heads.
Oh,
Yep.
great.
There you go. But yeah, so I think that might be probably really all that you can think of at the moment. The good news is it doesn't have any ability to use breath weapon. That's the other thing that's nice about this Hydra.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we'd know if that had been the case.
Yeah, you might have figured that one out first round. What else, Rekla?
Yeah. That would have ended his turn.
All right, Dalit.
So it's just the middle head
It's
that's alive.
one
right now,
head.
right?
One head remains. Yes,
Cool.
it's taken very little
Okay.
damage.
Then I will focus snagging strike at that.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Ah, cool. Okay. And then I will go for a second one. Hit something here. Nope.
That would be a critical miss,
Fantastic.
actually.
That's a miss.
Be-
Even with the flat-footed.
Oh, that's right. You have it held, so no.
And magical weapon.
Yeah, you're good. All right.
Okay. Whew.
My bad. I wasn't sure if they were added in. I was.
Very good. Oh, no, I don't. I can never figure out a way to get those added in.
No, I know it's too many things, too many variables to add in all the time
exactly.
anyway. But
I don't want to leave it either.
But yeah, you've definitely walloped it one time good here, so it's looking like it could be a strike away potentially. But until then, it is going to try to pull its head from your hand with another. Because this is verse 23, so it does break free, and it will then try to strike back at you, missing. All right, Fen Warden.
All right. Try the sword again. And see what we can do with that.
There you go.
8. 8. Is he good?
8. It's still up.
Oh, that little drip. Okay. Try a second attack. Oh, wait. No, I've got my bonus for this one because it's my hunted prey. That should do it. Oh, there we go. How about another 8?
That will do it. And with
Found its
that,
weak spot.
yes, and
Right under the jawbone. Yeah.
and as it does, and it falls forward, you can see that it didn't have much more length on the chain to reach, but it could have come out. It could have come out another 5 feet. So but it lands there on the ground, and again, it's just a freakish-looking creature that looks like it's been it's being harvested very likely for pieces and parts is what you gather from it.
Oh. See.
And now you've put it out of its misery for
Yes.
the most part. However, I think, let's see, what is the situation with its regeneration? Yeah, so there's basically like a period of time that will go by that it could regenerate still. So that's just something that Rekla would have observed and mentioned already.
All right.
We could, I'm sure there's supplies in this room where we could get a flame and cauterize that sucker so we don't have it sneaking up behind us or anything.
Yep.
Blocking our exit, something like that.
Yeah, I
It-
expect there's like a burning brazier or something that's got some boiling in it or something.
I'll point back to when you first entered this room up on the staircase, when you came out, you went to the top of the staircase and there was an opening into the fireplace that you could see.
Yeah, the giant furnace.
You're right, the furnace. So if you're looking for
Oh,
heat,
yeah.
you've got a good access point right there at the top of the steps that you can go to.
Yep, we could butcher it and bucket brigade the pieces up, toss it into the fire.
Regenerate that, buddy. Yeah.
What is
I bet you Hydra skulls actually aren't that rare.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, turns out you can farm them.
So we'd have to bring fire down here or the Hydra up there. Fire sounds lighter than going downhill. Try to drag the Hydra upstairs.
Bringing the fire to
Yep.
the creature. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys want to spend some time doing that, you can. I think we could probably get some rolls on that to see how effectively you're able to do this without choking yourselves out with smoke in the room and stuff like that. So, what do you think about a nature check? Whoever wants to be the one managing the fire here,
That's something
or
Ben
survival?
wants to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll do a nature check.
either one's fine.
Yeah.
I can aid on that.
Oh, I can do. Actually, I'll do survival. Okay, you get an 8 on it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm here to help, boss.
All right. So, yeah, so with that roll, you're able to successfully dispose of and destroy this creature and basically cauterize it to the point that there's no way that it's going to regenerate. And yeah, and I think at that, the room at this point probably stinks like rotten, Hydra flesh, but impressively, you've disabled it and what they were doing with it. So you can take a closer look around and see in the space that it was in. This thing was definitely being tended to, but it was not in great shape or condition when you started with it. So you can imagine how fierce these things would be if they had 5 heads.
Yeah.
You went up against one with 3 heads that was chained to a wall. So it's it's definitely like something you would respect as far as at this point now that it's gone. But if you take a closer look around here, let's see. Oops.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my detect magic up. Also, does the icky dark blood match the Hydra's blood that was getting mixed in with the other blood?
1 second. Hold on 1 second here. Let's see.
He's working on that. Fenmorton could use a little bit of healing. I've got potions, but do we have any?
Oh yeah, I can Rekla can do some medicine checks on you.
Cool. Yeah.
I can help you out with that too, boss.
Let's see. Yeah. So 8. Okay, that helps.
Yeah, sorry. I was just digging into this a little further. So one thing you notice is that on the floor there are a series of channels that have been dug into the floor. And now that you've spilled blood of the Hydra, you see the black blood of the Hydra that's almost like tar-like, and it falls into these grooves in the floor, and they start to flow, and eventually they flow outward into the room where you were, and they collect out there other channels in the floor that lead in other directions
Oh boy.
at this point. And that's when you start to realize that this was part of the source of the one half of it, the black liquid.
They were milking the blood.
Yeah, we want to make sure Dallas all healed up. That's for sure. Other monsters in there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Sydney gonna do some healing for me too?
Yeah, I can give it a try. So Sydney is going to take out a wand. Let's see here. Sorry, this is the first time I've done this. I gotta figure out how to do this. She is going to take out a wand. She has to do trick magic item. She's going to take out this wand.
Hmm.
She's going to bang it against her leg. Something like this. And attempt to get that to work. Let's see here. I believe I've got to roll Rodian too. Let's see here. I have to beat a DC 18 trick magic item, nature or religion.
Mm.
So that's sorry, I looked ahead of time because I'm gonna probably my expectation is I'm gonna use these a lot. I am gonna roll religion to try and make it think that I am a cleric or some such.
There you go.
DC 18.
Nice.
All right.
So bang it against my leg, get it to fire up, and I will heal you for 8 plus 8 damage.
At this point, no one has any idea what the hell Sydney is. I was sure they were a thief. I was sure I saw them cast a spell one time. It was weird. I don't know. And then now all of a sudden they've healed just out of nowhere. All
I will
right.
say that Reckless' background is as a field medic, so he knows you're full of shit.
At least this, I'm not even hiding that it's magic, but it's definitely the wand that's doing
Yeah.
this.
True, fair.
That's
fair.
true. That's true.
And I have always held out that I've known a thing or two about magic items.
Yeah.
This is in line with the original ruse of I'm just a thief that understands how magic items work.
Reckless gonna send out a 3-action heal, so everybody gets 15. Everybody who
Ooh.
needs it gets
Ooh.
15.
Oh wow.
The cultist raises. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, we're all good then.
That was helpful.
Yeah, how are we doing, Dalit? How are you looking?
42 of 63. I could use like one more medicine check.
Have you been medicine checked by Reckless yet?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I gave you that like 10 or something
was-
earlier.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't realize that was for me. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Word.
I have 2 of those wands, so I can fire off another one of those if I need to. But that is the extent of my healing ability. It's
Okay.
just two fires of that.
Fenwarden actually can try some natural medicine on you. He's not very good at it, but there's always that try. Let's see.
Does anybody have crafting as a trained?
Yes. Reckless trained in crafting.
That is this. Okay. No, it looks like it works. You're in luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. What do I do? How much do I get?
If you want to do a
Natural
crafting
medicine
check.
is. So that was a success. 2d8. Okay.
Jamie, I've got detect magic going on too as I
Okay.
That is almost everything.
So, one thing that you would piece together, Rekla, is that the blood of the Hydra can be used in some mutagens. And that might be something like you may not know exactly the recipe, but it's definitely used in mutagens. And that's
Right.
something that was used against you before by the cultists. So that's one of the things they're very likely doing. Seems obvious to you now.
Gotcha. This is their lab where they make their mutagens.
So again, as the blood spills back through the floor and the grooves in the floor and it gathers in this room, that's when you observe that there's 2 other directions where there's channels there's one heading to the south and one heading to I guess it would be the west.
Who wants to go south?
They are smaller than the ones that came from the Hydra's chamber.
Should we keep these things from mixing when they all get in here too? Are
making
we
a super blood.
right?
There is
I
like a
can pull the
pool in the
lever again,
center,
boss, if you
exactly.
want.
Exactly.
Do that, or I'll shoot the crossbow when somebody opens it.
Yeah, I've got to get a little distance so I can. I'm switching back to my bow and. Want to do the south one or have a?
We'll start on the south one.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm far enough away before you do that.
I'm
Hold
ready
on.
to pull the lever when everyone else is ready and in position.
I'm going to move one more time. Oops.
Let me see something real quick.
Okay, Fenwarden is ready.
All right. Rekla is ready.
Dalit, you ready? Alright, I'm going to pull the lever to open the door. I'll check it for traps first, but then I will pull the lever.
Good idea.
Okay, very good. You don't find any traps, but you looked, and you do pull the lever. I guess let's do, let's do because this is like up on the wall. I'm thinking it's like an acrobatics or athletics, whichever one you prefer, to make sure that
Probably
you.
acrobatics.
Run up the wall and grab it.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure because
Hook your knee over it.
Yeah.
it's a ways up there. It's definitely the top of your jump, and you do grab it, get a hold of it, and get this thing to budge. Although again, it's not as easy as it looks like it would be. It does release, and then once it does
Yeah,
this,
well, Sydney's not a huge person. She probably really has to throw her weight in to really refund it to get it to go. But
and then the
she knows how to
wall
throw her weight around.
What
will
a show.
begin to slide, and as it does, it unveils
Ah, shit.
another
That's all
room
you hear.
here where you see what appears to be a lion that is actually tied up as well, and there's a table that it's standing on, and there's a bunch of looks like body parts and things in the room with it. As this wall goes up, it leaps forward and it is going to attack. So we're gonna clear the turn order.
I'm very surprised Sydney didn't say it's somebody else's turn to do the damn lever.
Nothing bad happened last time, so.
Other than we almost all died.
Yeah, there's
But you all almost
Oh dear.
All right.
still hanging on the lever.
Yeah, that might be. Rekla, you're going to be first then as the wall opens and you see this lion emerge that's not looking too pleased or happy about the situation.
Try and hit it with a daze.
Okay. Let's see how it likes that. Its will DC is... Okay, alright. Fails that, so... It's going to take the 4 damage plus it's got the mental jolt. Okay. Got it.
Okay, and with his last action, he'll pull out his crossbow.
Okay. Alright. Crossbow out. Doll it.
Okay. Gonna go across the room. Guess draw my sword. I assume I would have put it away at some point in there.
Yeah, with all the healing. Yeah, very likely.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I'm sure Sydney wasn't just pulling the lever without telling you.
Yeah,
So
we were all getting
I would
ready.
imagine you had your sword drawn. Yeah, I don't think you should have to waste an action on drawing it.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'll try for an attack here.
Yeah.
That doesn't go well, even if it does hit.
Let's see. I think this actually... What happened to it? It's... Yeah, that's a hit. That is a hit. That's exactly what you needed. So 5 more. Okay.
All right, I think I'll try another attack there.
Oh, there you go.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that was a big hit. That was
Are
definitely
you
a big
still
hit.
adding? You still got it's 10 minutes with that magic weapon. Do you think it's? Oh no, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, healing takes at least 10 minutes. That didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were messing around for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's everything.
That's good. It's hurting pretty bad here from that shot, so I think at this point it is going to try to bite back at Sir Dalit. Let's see.
Yep.
Oh man, it almost got the trifecta. So it gets the 2 hits on you, the bite attack and then the claw attack, which the claw is a crit. So it's 40 damage total.
All right.
Damage?
Brutal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really should have just tried to tackle it. That was
Brutal.
my first thought.
Thanks, Dollar.
But Femwarden's up.
Wow. Okay. He'll give it a quick hard look as a hunt prey action. And then he's firing the composite longbow as a, I always forget what the feat is called, the 100 shot. So 2 shots in that action. That one. And that one.
That second one will hit.
Second one hits. Okay, and that is 7 points of damage. And his first hit against his 100 prey is another 7.
Yikes. It falls over dead
All right.
with that hit.
Cool.
Yeah, and so again, you can see this space that this thing was being held in. Seems to be, it's got this raised table where you can see again that these creatures must have been drained for blood, and the table would spill down to the floor, which would fill the channel that leads out in a certain proportion. Like, it's definitely designed the way the floor is designed. It's trying to gather a certain amount of each and gather it into a main chamber. But other than the now dead creature, you don't see much in the space of value. I take that back. You do see some tools in this room. Specifically, there were no tools in the other room, but there are some in this one, and definitely some different looking knives and what would you call these? They're like probably torture devices at this point is the way you would look at them. Different
Instruments of
saws,
pain.
different ways of
That's gonna be my band name.
It's very catchy. Yeah.
Mostly because I'm a terrible musician, so you would hate to listen to it.
It would be an instrument of pain. That's good.
Yeah, so I think you've uncovered part of this already, and you've got these two sides, and then there's one more side that has a channel in it.
Let's follow the channel.
Before we go in there real quick, Warden's realizing that having a wooden shield is stupid. By any chance, does the cultist, the dead cultist, have a better shield?
The
Just checking.
cultist, no, he's not
Okay.
using a shield.
I think he was like a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Before we pop the last door, Sydney is gonna pull out her second wand and also try to whap it against her legs to see if she can get it to work the way it's supposed to. So I need to hit it. 18 on this.
Nope.
No, this one doesn't work.
It's a dud. Okay. So Dalit, you're like down to next to nothing or something?
I have 22, but I'm just going to. But before we pull that last one and go down the next way, I'm going to just take out my last 2 healing potions and pop them.
And I've got some healing potions I can hand over to you too if you need them.
Yeah, we'll see after
He's
Jesus.
chugging healing potion. Oh no, those two did not do their job.
Nope. Can I hero point them?
You drank them too fast.
Well,
Yeah, if you want to, I'll allow you to re-roll that entire roll, that 2d8. If you want to spend your hero point on that specifically, you're welcome to.
I don't do that. I'll give you. I've got lesser healing, minor healing.
Yeah, I'll send you another heal, first
All right.
level.
Hey, I'll hand you the wand that I couldn't get to go off. It
Yeah.
still works. It still works. You could use the charge in it.
All right.
I should be
Perfect.
good. I'm up to 41.
Okay, you're feeling fine? Feeling froggy?
Probably take another critical or 2.
Okay.
Well, it's 40 with the one attack. Last one turn. Yeah.
Right, 1 turn might make a difference, but if I get lucky, I'll be
Well, you're good for 1 turn. We're great. Go ahead. Roll.
1 more encounter. What's the difference? I'll hero point my death save.
Yeah, there you go. You got a hero point. What could happen? What could possibly happen? Go ahead. I'm
long as I
standing
die,
back here,
cool.
by the way.
So I guess once everybody's in position and feeling good about it, Sydney will pull the lever on the last door, but she's gonna run away as soon as she does it. GTFO, back over to her spot over on the table.
First action, pull the lever. Another 2 actions, get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Let's see, the lever on this one is actually over here. Let me move
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry.
Where's that?
It's on this wall right here.
Okay.
I'm not seeing that. You indicate it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, it's like behind the stairway here, like
Yeah.
under the stairs.
It's like the stairs come down over top of it.
Yep, right there.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Then I'm in the wrong
So
place.
that's where
So I'm
I'll let
gonna,
you reposition because I don't want to.
yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna aim to run to the far side of this table. That's my goal. With my crossbow.
Yeah, I think I'll
I'll
stay
get
there.
close to the lever just to make sure.
All right, so you can make your check here to pull the lever. It's a little easier to reach here, so it's not going to be as difficult of a check.
Okay, cool.
Still, you're able to pull it easily. This one, as it shifts, opens this small space below the staircase, as Rekla was indicating. And behind the space, you see what looks like two creatures that are leaning up against each other in the back corner. And you take a closer look at them. And
I run like hell.
they appear to be goats. Make a perception check.
Is it just him?
All of you can make a perception check if you're looking at it, looking into the hole here that was opened.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Fenwarden sees
Okay.
everything.
Okay. All right. So I think it's a combination of things at this point that Fenwarden, the three things that you've just fought, you feel you get this overwhelming sense that you've seen them before. And it occurs to you that these were parts of the ingredients of the chimera that you killed many sessions ago.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And it starts to then, I think, become more obvious to the group that this is a chimera forge.
Dang.
Okay. Yep.
And so these goats pose no threat to you, but the product of them and the other pieces and parts, obviously at this point, is a bigger threat. And again, like it's been you were much lower level back when you encountered that. You've come a long way since then, but it would still strike fear into you because you know how unnatural it is, and it starts to maybe get your head spinning a little bit of the source of where it came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
With that information, how about we take a quick 5-minute break, and because I gotta use the bathroom real quick, and then we can come back and explore the rest of this thing.
Sounds
Alright.
good.
Does that go? Okay.
Sounds good.
Be right back. All right. I'm gonna remove these bodies from the map. All right, everybody back. I see
Yeah.
All set?
see everyone but Clayton.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right, so you have found yourselves in the center of this chimera forge. You've got a couple of gaunt-looking goats cuddled up in the corner over here, making no threat to you from under the steps. But you've dispatched of the bigger threats, and now you stand in this space. So you do have the ability to go down another level on the spiral staircase that you descended. This is not the bottom floor. There's further levels beneath you, and there are obviously some levels above you haven't been to as well. But what is the group thinking?
Does my detect magic ever go off at any point as I'm going around the room looking for anything? I'm not going to aggressively search the room, but I do want to make sure that I at least cover the radius of it with detect magic so that I can get any low-hanging fruit.
I think the whole point of coming in here was to eradicate this thing, which to me means we're going to go to every level.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to go to.
Yeah.
I would say that the detect magic will give you the ability that when you look at the liquid that's combined at the right ratio, it begins to glow magical.
Is that that finalized
Mhm.
product that I
Yes.
got? Okay, I grabbed a couple bottles of that. I grabbed 6 bottles
Yes.
of that.
Yep.
And I have that and a couple other things I need to identify at some point in the future. But I've not taken the time to identify that stuff yet. So I'm ready to roll.
So
How about
Heading down,
stamina?
boss? Am I going down first? Seeing that nobody is rushing to go down the stairs.
I can go down.
Yeah, Fen Warden's fine going down first. You want to go ahead of me?
No, everyone wants to go first.
All right.
While you've been arguing about who's going first, Recla's already down there. But no, I'll move you guys up to the staircase. Yeah, I think. Is there anything else that before I pull you from this area, that you're gonna do with this space? In other words, are you doing anything to hide anything or disturb the flow of the fluids or anything at all? I'm not saying you have to or not. I just wanted to know if you just left things as they lay from the outcome of the battle, or is there anything moved?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do a whole lot.
Yeah.
We could torch the lion body just to also have it destroyed. I don't know.
Luckily, we didn't draw any blood from the goats.
Yeah, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
Okay. All right. So, who's in front then? Who's gonna be Dalit? Let's say
Yeah, I'll take a point.
Dalit's in front. Okay, Dalit, you lead the way back to the spiral staircase downward. And it leads down quite a ways. Definitely seems like you're now beneath the dirt, going down beneath the tower somewhat. And as you make your way towards the bottom, you can hear some movement. Sounds like grinding or something large, maybe spinning. More like a wooden type of sound than a stone sound, I guess would be the way to characterize it. But hear that sound kind of getting louder as you're getting closer to the bottom. And the fire itself, too, you can hear almost like the roar of a fire as you reach the bottom of the staircase and step out. And I'll move you guys over to that next level. Actually, 1 second.
I will mention that Rekla's a little drained for spells at the moment. He still has a handful of first level and one second level, but yeah, the majority of his big stuff is spent.
I feel like there's no real leaving a tower like this once you enter it, though.
No, I don't think so. But there might be a way to hole up somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
Especially
certainly.
considering we have that whole multiple levels of Spriggins that are between us and our exit.
That whole thing? No, I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a problem at all.
No problem whatsoever.
All right, so you guys make your way into the bottom level. It opens up into a large dirt cellar that contains what you can see is a large opening to the chimney, and there are stacks and stacks of logs along the side, and these are all being fed into the opening by what appears to be a creature that's over here. So I'm gonna have you guys roll a perception check first, and then stealth check second. All right.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Ooh, why? Okay. Okay, Dalit, you lock immediately with eyes across the way with an undead creature. Appears to be some skeletal creature. It almost reminds you a little bit of the skeletons that you saw back when you were in the Lonely Barrow, where the barbarian king was buried. It reminds you of some of the minions you fought in that tomb. But it is here and appears to be mindlessly tending to the logs and not that concerned about your entry. And with that, Rekla, as you come to the bottom here and you're trying to get a view, you kind of knock a rock off of this little edge here, and it rolls down and hits another rock and rolls down and makes a little clatter and clutter. And with that, you guys hear some footsteps coming from the southeast corner. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to act once each here before you see what kind of is coming. So I'll start with Sydney. What do you want to do
I'm gonna make
first?
a beeline there.
Go ahead and move yourself where you want to be. You guys can make like a one action move.
No.
I'll probably get back here.
And then
Is
I'm
this,
gonna try and hide there.
Is
Can I
this,
take out my sword in that action too?
you simply have it out anyway. We're going down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have your sword out. Yeah, you have your sword.
This stone here, is it something that blocks view, or I can hide behind, or something? Or
Yeah, you could try to take cover behind that. I think that's a good move.
okay.
Everybody else is in a different position now. Okay, so with that, you hear some footsteps coming, and you look down and you see what appears to be. Let me see if your view sees this guy. I'll move him out here. A cultist. And he says, "What's the damn racket?" And as he steps out here, he's kind of stops dead in his tracks, face to face with Dalit first, and then he sees the other three positioned behind Dalit. What is the meaning of this?
I
You
think
shoot.
cult is unnatural.
He says, and I think you guys don't really display any holy symbols, do you? Does anyone?
Well,
say
I'm
any-
wearing. I'm all kitted out actually. I've got
Oh.
that Ugathoa.
Oh yeah, yeah. You look like a.
armor,
That's
and
true. You would look like an
I'm wearing.
Naruto.
Because I was all garbed out talking with the people at the front, pretending that I was Ugathoa.
Then he may direct the question to you, seeing that you're either dressed as such. But does anyone else say anything as he's paused here?
I got nothing.
He says, You will need to leave immediately. Doom will come upon you."
The lady demands your decay, and then
The lady demands. True story. He says, "I have other plans for you."
Oh no.
And he will, I guess we'll go ahead and roll initiative here, since it's going to get to that point. Okay.
Could Fenwarden get a chance to do hunt prey while they were talking?
Yeah, that's fine. You clicked it. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
No problem. All right, so the cultists here. All right. All right, Dalit. It looks like the negotiation's over.
Yep. All right. So I will, I guess, step forward and attack.
Oh my, you will. Okay. That is a solid hit of 8 damage.
I'll take think about this. I'm just going to trip him. Let's think about this. I'm trying to remember my feats right now. It's top of my head, whether one of them involves tripping. I think it's just grabbing. But I want to knock him down so he has to waste an action. Which I believe is a unarmed attack.
Okay, so he has to make an unarmed attack?
No, I believe I have to make an unarmed attack. Let me just double check if it's unarmed or athletics. Oh, attempt an athletics check against the target's reflex DC.
Okay.
And this is to knock him down?
Yeah, it's to knock him.
Okay.
Yeah, that will do it.
Cool. All right, cool. So he's prone then.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, I like this. This is, yeah.
All
Seems
right.
very
Yeah.
unfair. That's great. Okay.
Ben Warden?
It is already 4 against 1.
Yeah, Fenwarden's got him locked in with hunt prey, and he is prone, so he's going to take a 100 shot. Take a couple of quick shots here. First one. That's good. Is that a critical? Probably not.
No.
No.
Even with his ace. Okay, too bad. Okay, second one. Oh, and then additional damage on that one of 3. And then second shot. That's not so good.
Ooh.
Okay, so get the 16, 19. Okay. Got it.
That was one action. Let's see. There's nobody coming behind him that we see yet, right?
No.
And I'm going to take a look over at the guy stoking the fire. Is he doing anything different?
Yeah, he's eyeing you up. He definitely doesn't. He seems to be triggered into this
Oh.
too. So he's
Okay.
stopped tending the fire.
All right. So I will. I've got 2 actions left, but I don't want to shoot anymore. So I'll take cover and do my little shield spell that I've got.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Rekla.
Okay, Rekla will step forward with his first action. And then second action, he's going to target the undead with a disrupt undead.
Basic fort save. Whoa.
Mm.
That's a critical fail.
That's yeah, so
Oh.
he's enfeebled 1 for a round.
Okay.
Nice.
Prone and enfeebled. All right. Got it.
Yeah. No, this was against the undead guy.
Oh, this was against the undead guy. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
totally put it. Yeah. There we go. Got it. Okay.
That would be the end of his turn.
All right. So our cultist friend is now going to attempt to get up.
Yep.
I guess he's rolling. Is this an unarmed attack again against?
No, he could just stand up.
Okay, so he is going to spend an action to stand up.
Yeah.
And then he is, let's see. At this point, he is going to run. And so he starts running back down the hallway here that he came from.
Oh.
And
Oh.
Sweetheart.
all right.
No.
So he has run around the corner here with his last action, and Sydney is up.
That was Dallas got an attack of opportunity.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, he's already gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I will, with my first action, I will use half of my movement to go 25 feet and then stick my foot in the ground, take off running this direction, the direction he went.
Okay.
But yeah, she's just like shaking her head in disbelief that this man thinks he can outrun her.
Her last name is Quick.
That's true.
But I am here, and then I will be 25 feet
Okay. Yeah, you can put yourself,
right there.
or I'll
That's where I would end up.
yeah, I'll put you there.
Whoosh.
All right. So let me see.
So
Okay,
that
yeah.
went into the middle of a bunch of cultists.
So yeah, you
Yeah,
turn.
do I?
You run around the corner here, and there's an opening here, right? That the others don't see at the moment. We'll wait a second before we get into that. But let's see. What else were you gonna do? Because you do catch up to him.
Okay. And then do I see all the other people up in there?
You do, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You can pause and you could try to perceive it, but there's so many people here, it would take your action to do it, to sort out who's here.
Okay. I'm just gonna scream, Our Lady of Decay.
Oh dear. Kaboom.
And we
Hero point that damage.
You can't.
Yeah.
Didn't you already use two actions to run here, or was that one action?
No, that was one action. I have
Okay.
50 foot
Okay. All right. I
movement
just
speed.
wanted
It
to double
was-
check. All right. So you're gonna cast a fireball, and where do you want to center it?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Oh, that's okay. Let's see.
pick that guy.
You're looking for
20,
where you want to
30,
center.
yeah, 20
Yeah.
foot. 20 foot. Okay. So I am probably I'm gonna probably catch myself in it. Let's see here. 15 foot. Yeah, I'm gonna probably it's gonna be real questionable.
think
So
it's
Sydney runs
something
around the
like
corner and there's a
that.
lot of screaming all of a sudden.
Waboom!
Yeah.
Our Lady in Darkness. Just so you can-
Yeah. So I,
The
this
room lights up all of a sudden.
this yellow circle is where I'll move where you want it. So you tell me, where do you want to center it?
The radius is 20 foot, so that's one.
Oh, the radius is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if that's the center, that's the 20 foot right there. I think that pretty much just gets all of us.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just rolling reflex with everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole room's gonna eat.
Not seeing any of this. It
I know.
sounds terrible.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and let's see. We've got to
And-
roll.
Yeah, and I
basic
will
aids.
hero point that damage. I will reroll.
All right.
that
I'm
spell.
gonna do this. I guess I'm gonna do this like this.
Our Lady in Decay.
Oh, that's much better. No. Oh no, what is that?
No, it's actually not. It's only one better, but okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The crit is way
Yeah.
better. So if people crit fail, that's way better.
Oh,
17.
All right, and then I got to do my reflex save. Here comes my reflex save.
at least one person? Yeah, one person crit failed. Two.
And
Sorry,
I did
two.
pass my saves.
Wow.
Wow,
All right.
no one
1,
saved there.
2.
Oh wait, I guess
10.
we have
And
multipliers.
I took
1.
10 points of fire
Wow.
damage.
Jesus.
Because I eat it in the face too.
3, 4.
Oh, shit.
1, 2. All right. So how you guys get
This is how the
1,
book said it was
2,
supposed to
3,
be
4,
played, right?
5.
Maybe.
Listen, I don't think we've set anything on fire in a long time.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. And with that, also he took the damage too. So it was. Holy cow. Okay, so
This
he.
sounds like a complete mess. What have you done?
All right. So you did how much?
The only
to
thing I
him?
could do.
20 more. Okay. All right. So he falls as well. Okay. So in the aftermath of this flash, everyone in the room out there would just see this flash come from the corner as Sydney just ran around it a millisecond before that. And and you would probably at that point, if you're moving in that direction, feel the heat from the fireball that would be puffing out. And if you want to go ahead and come down here and turn the corner, you could see what's next, but we'll give it you guys all a second to see that on your own. But
I just start yelling, "Stay down!"
You know how they calculate like man hours? You could calculate like the man damage that was just
yeah,
incurred there.
yeah,
That was probably a lot.
there
huh?
was a lot. It was a lot of damage. So
There
the
are 13 people in this room with me.
the skeleton
What a
at
perfect smell! Wow.
but you guys notice in the room, those of you that were staring at the skeleton who was already stupefied, is
Yeah.
that now the skeleton appears to just go back to doing what it was doing before.
Oh,
And
Okay.
it's as if it's like it's no longer aggroed
okay.
is the best way to say it. It's reset, so it's going back into more of its servant mode at the and does not appear to be hostile.
Handy. Okay.
But yeah, so Dalit, what would you like to do here?
Run around the corner.
Go ahead, take it all in.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure I can make it. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
you can get there in pretty.
Okay.
In 2 actions, you could be pretty much in the center. Yeah.
I'll move there.
There you go.
Was this the cultist we were chasing?
Yes. Yes.
All right, cool. Then I'm going to use a feat that I rarely get to use.
Sudden charge.
Sudden charge. And huh?
As you turn the corner, though, do a perception check here. Okay, never mind. You
Never mind. You don't know.
keep charging.
Cool. Nice and easy. I'm just gonna take the attack, and that's my turn.
I'm gonna move him here so you can see that. Okay. All right.
Is everybody gonna Leroy
my
Jenkins this?
Good. Okay, you just blasted him. He is absolutely dead. Good God. All right. There are just bodies. All right. Fenwarden is up next.
It takes him 2 to get to there. And He still can't see much. Yeah, he'll have to. He's going to use another movement to come around the corner. Wow. He'll just have to end his movement here. And that's as much as he can do.
Okay.
Not as fast as Sydney.
Go ahead
He actually
and
has armor on.
yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check, Fem Warden, since you turned the corner here. And I'll fill you in a second after we have Rekla go. Go ahead, Rekla.
All right. Following the crew, I think my first action gets me here. My second action could get me there.
Okay, and then does that put you... Okay, all right. So you can roll a perception as well.
All right.
Okay. So something seems odd at first when you turn the corner and you look in this space. You guys realize that there's some type of turnstile here that was being pushed by what appear to be slaves.
Oh.
And Rekla, one of the slaves, looks familiar to you.
Oh, which one?
Is
This,
that my childhood friend? They're toasted on the floor.
if you come in and take a closer look, that one of them is a woman,
Svetlana?
and it is Svetlana.
She's alive?
She's alive, but she's basically been conditioned as a slave, along with
Right.
that there's some others here who have survived. So I'm gonna move you guys into the room, give you a better
Oh,
view here.
goodness.
So you've got a mixture of among the living at this point are Svetlana and there's two loggers. We'll call them. They look like lumberjack humans. There is a kobold who survived the blast. There is what is this one? This was a lizard folk and another human over here.
Okay.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 survivors.
Okay.
And
The cultist is dead, though, right?
the
'Cause
cultist is dead, and
Okay.
amongst the dead, so let's see, what were the dead here? The cultist, who is this one?
I am dying.
There's another, there's a
I love
human.
that after I blew up the room, Dalek comes screaming in behind me, charges, and just hastes the nearest.
Comes to a dead halt.
So let's see, there's 2 humans, 2 kobolds, a lizard folk, dead. Yeah, that's amongst the dead. Yeah.
War crimes. It's war crimes. What can I say?
Collateral damage.
Do a 5-second fireball, and then there's no witnesses. And then, did it really happen?
Sounds like Valeriana is taking a turn here.
I think we're gonna have to rename you Sydney Too Quick.
With that though, the survivors, do you free them? They are basically chained to spokes in a wheel currently, so that they're supposed to be pushing the wheel at all times, but it's come grinding to a halt after the.
Yeah, I mean, we've just doubled their work for them, so I think that's more cruel than freeing them. I
Yeah,
think we should free them.
we free them, but we have to, because they might. I don't want them to go past the skeleton, and then he'll finish off the rest of them.
But it's fair.
Sydney is incredibly apologetic.
So
and doing everything she can.
All right, so you guys can.
Hey.
Assist the people that are still alive.
I think Rekla will stand in the middle of the room and do a 3-action heal. Everybody gets 14 points of health.
There you go.
I have never seen a more fireballable room.
No
I mean-
kidding.
Okay,
No kidding.
let's see.
Yeah. But the shadow won today, Sydney. The shadow
The
won.
shadow won. You guys basically can do a check here to break the chains. So I think it's just an unarmed
Okay.
attack against DC 23.
Unarmed, huh? Okay.
There you go. That will break one.
Do we need to do it multiple times or just
Well,
once?
for each one you want to break loose, I guess you can try. So who you breaking with that one, Dalit?
I'll break Svetlana free.
Okay.
Can I just pop the lock on the chain?
Try.
Okay. Well, they're over there reefing on the chain and doing all the hard work. I'm gonna do that real quick.
That will not, unfortunately,
Oh, bummer.
open it. Anyone else want to try to free anyone?
I'm having flashbacks.
So how's that work? Can we do? Because I tried once, it failed. Can I try for each
You
person?
can continue to try. Yeah, you can continue to try. So right now, Svetlana is free. She's the only one that's free.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Who are you breaking free?
The lizard man.
Okay. All right. So he's free as well. I guess I'll put
Just break free one of the people next to Svetlana.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, Reckla's of no use in this situation.
I think, is there 1 or 2 people left?
There's 1, 2, 3.
3.
Actually, 4. The kobold. There's yeah. Okay. So
Fenwarden seems to have weakened.
Then-
Yeah.
then Warren, you got that second one, didn't you? Okay. Yeah. And then there you just got another one. Okay. So who were you doing? The one by Svetlana. Okay.
Yep. I'll just move on to this other one down here.
Got it.
And then I think I rolled 2 there. And then I'll do the kobold.
Okay.
And then I think there's just one, or did...
Yeah, there's one. This one over here by the doorway.
Oh, that one.
Okay.
Nope. Fenwarden's just not as strong. There you go.
Okay. You guys you've freed them. You've freed the slaves here, the surviving slaves, and they are healed up. I'm sorry, that was too good though.
That was
Oh man.
hysterical.
I get it really was a perfect arrangement, but
Oh, and you said they were cultists. You're like, there's the room of cultists, and I'm sure they look like the rest of the cultists, right? Like, at first glance.
This guy has the same the cultist icon.
that was why I was telling you like you would had to have spent a action to
Perception.
perceive.
And I wouldn't have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, nope.
But regardless, the good news is that Svetlana rolled well on her save, so she did not die, because that would have been the extra tragedy on top of it all
Yeah.
had you uncovered
mean,
that. But
Yeah.
Well, I've never met this lady, so I have no idea who she is. So I apologize for not
but
recognizing.
they seem just weak and relieved to be freed, but scared still, all of them. And
Maybe we can tell them to stay here. I don't know. Or
Yes,
hide somewhere.
Is the door we came through the only door?
yeah.
We could escort them up and hide them with the goats.
And let's make sure. I want to ask them to make sure that they haven't seen anybody coming through any other hidden doors or something like that. This is the only door anybody ever comes through.
Okay, so if you do tell them about that, the one of the loggers will be like, I've seen one of them creeping around at night. He's a strange looking, misshaped figure. He tries to take your soul.
And I'm gonna ask him if it's this one, and I like pick up the cultist that we had. This guy?
Nah, not him. He is but a weakling.
And this other one comes through the door at night.
I've seen him.
Okay, so there's somebody else prowling around, but unless it's maybe that undead guy.
He's not natural.
Probably a fire stoker.
Probably some of the others may at least want to burn the bodies of their fellow slaves so that their bodies aren't left here.
I feel like that kind of got done already.
Yeah, they might want to
Way to
pile
be
them up
bad.
here, I think, and kind of like just finish the job, so that they may do that as you're all figuring out what your next move is. And what are you guys thinking?
Rekla
I'm
has
gonna
a
check that
proposal.
cultist. I'm gonna check that cultist, see if he's got anything indicating any authority or anything like that.
Who's that? Say that
The
again.
cultist that we killed. That I chased into
Yeah,
here.
so he does have one of their ceremonial daggers. He also has leather armor. He also wears a pair of bracers. And
Are the bracers cool? Do they detect as magical?
They are magical.
Yeah, okay. I will grab those.
And he has a potion as well that's magical.
Can I do a quick identity
Um,
on the potion?
The potion. Yeah, yeah. So this appears to be. What is this? It's something that looks like a. It's not like something that you've seen before, but and so it looks like some kind of tricolored fluid that refuses to mix. You can look at it. So it's something. It looks like something interesting, but you've not seen before.
But I don't know what it is.
Nope.
I'll put it in the bag with the rest of the stuff, and I'll sort it out later. I'll identify it and stuff when I got a chance.
Okay. Yeah, two of the substances look like the blood that you saw, but the third one does not.
Gotcha.
Looks like a clearer substance. But yeah, the other than that, I think you guys basically have a whole crew now of slaves that are trying to escape. They're refugees.
Let me pitch this. Rekla's. We bring them back up to the level where we killed the 3 things. We try to camp for a night. We can make a meal out of the lion, and we leave the slaves there with what they need to cook the goats to stay alive while we try to finish out the rest of the tower.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think a camp overnight would be a good idea to get some spells back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and top off any healing.
I ain't staying here another night.
You could walk yourself out.
So you guys are gonna either wanna intimidate or use diplomacy to.
All right, here
on
I
the
got a
crowd.
good one for him. I'll just shoot him a glare.
Okay, all right.
I'm good. I'll hero point that. What the hell? I don't want this guy messing up our evening.
They're in no position. They're in no position to fight back, but they do that. There's a couple of them that seem a little
Less than happy
disgruntled
about the plan.
about staying another night now that their shackles are off. Takes a lot out of them to stay here.
I'm gonna cook you a
There's
fresh meal tonight.
When there's a little bit of grumbling, I ask Rekla, if you want to, we can chain them all back up again.
No, why do that? Why don't you just smoke them all?
See, that's like guidance on intimidation. That would be perfect example.
Right?
Or
Warden
aid,
will try
excuse
to
me, aid.
explain.
Aid.
Warden will explain we're really after their best interest. We're just trying to do the right thing by them, etc., etc.
I just apologize profusely.
No,
My
I think
diplomacy is a bit better there than.
okay, yeah, no, I think that diplomacy helps. I think, Warden, maybe what you would do is ask them, some of them, where they're from, and get them talking a little bit about that, so that they, you have more of a connection with them. And they do start to tell you. Some of them start to explain that they were from the western side of your territory, and they were villagers whose village was plummeted by trolls. And so they were pushed out of their village by trolls. They were picked up by the cultists. Some of them were picked up by Chimera, including Svetlana, who was carried away by a Chimera. So they were all brought here, and they've been employed by the tower in various degrees since then. So that's the group that you're hearing from as far as like the loggers. The lizard folk he would have been from further north, probably closer to where Oleg and Svetlana were from, and would have been brought here in a similar time frame. So in game time, it's probably been, I would say, like 3 months since like when you were at Oleg's. I'm guessing it's maybe something along that line, but maybe I'm wrong. But regardless, you're now responsible for all of them, and they will follow you for the moment because of your diplomacy. So what would you have them do, and what do you want to do here?
Yeah, I think we need to keep them safe and out of our hair for the moment. So I think it's a good idea to bring them with us. We have to see what happens when we walk past that undead guy, but bring them with us back up to the room, the alchemy room.
Yeah.
Have them follow us, basically.
Okay. All right. Who's leading the way upstairs?
I'll go first.
Okay,
Alright.
and Fenwarden will take the back just in case the skeleton sides come up from behind us. He can't munch through all of our hostages.
Yeah, I'll go out second.
Yeah, I've just moved you guys out into the open area. I'm imagining you're really walking more single file from around the back corner and straight to the staircase. And as you do that, the skeleton does not appear to be activated. He is continuing to tend to the fire. Whoever it is that created him very likely is still around, but he does not seem to be programmed to stop you guys from leaving. So you guys can wander right straight through back to the staircase, and you start to go upstairs. I think it's around this time, though, that you start to realize that the apparatus that the slaves were spinning was a part of keeping the chimney burning at a certain rate. And as you're walking by, you see that the logs are they're starting to pile up in the fire, like
Because they're not burning up at the same
yeah,
rate.
yeah, and it doesn't look like the skeleton's adjusting for that. He's not really an active thinker, and so it's just starting to really change the intensity of the fire a little bit, but it's still certainly forge worthy. But you make your way up and past him and into the Chimera Forge, where the goats wait for their slaughter. So what would you do here? What would you be up to?
I think we'd secure them in some kind of area, whichever seems.
We could slaughter. We could eat the goats.
Yeah.
I was gonna cook the lion, because it's already dead, and then they could have the goats if they have to stay here or something. I don't know.
As
Top
long as
of
they're
this,
okay with slaughtering them.
I'm just trying to figure out how many doors we're having to defend here. What's at the top of those stairs? Is there
Yeah, it's
another?
the
This is the forge up here on this. It's like a
Just
forge.
the forge.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing else. It doesn't go beyond there. That's the end of it.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. So the staircase is the only way in and out from here.
The
That we
spiral
know.
stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Is
you're
there a
gonna.
door on that spiral stairs, or is it just open?
No, it's just like an opening that
Okay.
it'll make watches easy. You just have somebody sit there.
That's true. Yeah, for the most part, as far as that's the only way that you're gonna be bothered.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what would you guys? How do you want to do watch? I guess we'll do watch, and you're gonna cook. So we'll look at it like camping activities, minus the fact that you don't really have to. I guess you could. I guess in a way you could have to pick your campsite that's camouflaged. So who wants to pick the camp where you guys camp and all of that stuff? We'll do it that way.
All right.
It's not really Fenwarden's thing to find a place to camp indoors.
What was it? Survival?
Yeah, I think in a setting like this, I would take another role if there's something else that you wanted to use. Since you're indoors.
Stealth.
Yeah, exactly. Stealth would probably be a good one if you want to just do that.
Got good stealth.
Okay. So where is that stealthy spot that you pick?
So the stealthy spot that we picked is we're going to be around this corner here, so that you can't see it unless they actually get off the stairs.
Ah.
Perfect. Okay, I'll move all of our
So if everyone stays back here,
refugees.
whoever's watching can keep watch on what's going on, but everyone else can stay out of line of sight.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this spiral, the other staircase, is a good place to be for the watchman.
Right.
Be above it. Yeah.
Okay. And what's your watch order?
We got four of us. We can just do. Fenwarden will take the first watch.
Rekla
I
will
can
take
take last
second.
watch.
Okay, so
Well-
Fenwarden, Rekla, Dalit, Sydney,
Dalit.
in that order. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take some time to try and identify some of the stuff that we found, though.
Okay.
So I have let's see. believe it takes me 10 minutes per thing because I've got. Sorry. Getting a little bit better, but I've got this feat here. So I believe that reduces it down to 1 minute. Oh, perfect. So I could have taken some time earlier. I have found, let's see here. Let's start with those bracers that I just found, those magical bracers. I'm assuming is that Arcana?
They are abjuration.
They're abjuration.
Yeah.
And I will cast. Forget that spell.
And
That's basically what I'm going to do is try and use the read aura and detect magic to get a little bit
identify
go
it.
through,
Yeah.
identify the stuff that we have. Take like 30 minutes or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. I think the bracers give off like a protection type of aura. You'd have to wear them to get an exact sense of it, but it feels safe to wear as if it's gonna protect you somehow.
I'll do whatever it takes to figure it out. So I'll put them on for a monkey with
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
takes.
What else are you identifying?
See here, I've got the Ugathoan cup, the cup that we found at the table that they kept trying to get us to drink out of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the finished potions from the blood lab. And then the ritual dragon daggers. I've collected a little pile of stuff that I have not identified yet.
The ritual daggers are basically +1 daggers. Each of them are. The thing is that they are dead giveaways that you're an ergothoid cultist, so they're not something you probably want to be using openly, but they are +1. So there's that. I know let's see, the bracers are protection, and they are, let's see, what level is this? It is a +2 to AC.
Okay.
Let's make sure somebody's wearing those.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'm not like hiding them from
And
the group or anything like that.
yeah, you guys, as he like finishes, I imagine like he figures out what it is and he just throws it on the floor. Whoever wants this, that's what it is, all right? And he moves to the next thing. What was the next thing you were trying to identify?
The 3 fluid potion that I also found on the cultist.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is, what did they call this? It is a potion of might.
I'm gonna give that to Zalit.
Potion of might.
And it's a variant of the potion of might. It's actually a potion of chimera's might.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
The
Spicy might.
basically, once you drink the potion, you'll roll a d6, and the result of your d6 will be an effect that you'll have for 1 hour.
Okay.
So that's what you would take from it. What the effects are vary, but some are pretty good, and some are but
Random, like it's like drinking tequila.
Yeah.
yeah. So that yeah exactly.
Oh, that'll be fun. Cool. So
Any-
Dallet's got that.
Anything else
Yep.
that who has the bracers? Needs the
I don't
AC
know if
help.
anyone has decided on the bracers yet. Just a second.
What's our worst AC?
Probably Rekla. He's
Do
a
you wear
19.
armor?
Yeah,
What armor do you wear?
studded.
Okay.
I wear armor too,
He's a
but
knight.
I'm probably closest to being able to use a maximum dex modifier of +5. Thing
And
was,
Norton's already got one of the best armor classes.
He's hard to hit.
that
I've
might
tried.
be the other approach, is we just make the tanky tankier and we just give it to you and you or give it to Dalit. I don't care. My major approach is to not get into the fight to begin with. So.
Right?
Yeah, if you're going for balance, then probably Rekla would be the one that needs it. But if you're going for load up the front line, then yeah, then you give it to Dalit, so he's even harder to hit.
Yeah, let's do Dalit. Fenwarden's more often trying to stay back than snipe. So
What are those?
It is bracers, a protection +2, so it's +2 to your AC.
No.
I mean, they potent as shit. That sounds awesome.
Sounds really
Yeah.
good.
All right. So is there anything else anyone's doing before rest?
The finished potions from the blood lab.
Yes.
What did those identify up as?
So those actually, now that you take a look at those, I think you would see that they're similar to the one that you gave Dalit.
There's 6 more of those.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's the might.
Yeah. Chimera's might.
We could all carry one of those. Anybody that needs might.
Yeah, you want one?
That's a
Anyone
good
want
idea.
one?
Probably have everyone have one in their
Yeah.
bag. And then give the extra to your fighters.
Fen Warden's going to take one.
Okay.
Yeah, Rico will put one away.
All right. So I'm going to roll for our evening to see. Oops. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, the night moves along. You've done your research. You've got everyone's got a new potion or something that they've gathered from this place so far. You've now secured the bottom, right? And now you're working your way back up. And throughout the night, you can hear some sounds coming from up the stairs, definitely, but nothing that like sounds like footsteps or anything clearly that's coming your way. Just movement up above. I would say after a while, as it starts to get closer to the morning, then you are all awakened by the sound of what's like a gong that rings from above somewhere in the tower. And it really reverberates through the staircase more than anything. So whoever's on watch at the end, I think, is Dalit. It may startle you at first that you suddenly hear this clang that comes from above, but after that, it's still silent. You don't hear anything else.
Okay.
Do any of us see anybody go up and down the stairs throughout the night
No,
while we're camped out? No.
no.
That's cool.
Oh, I never got to make a lion meal.
Oh yeah, I meant to do that. I meant to give you a chance to have a recipe. So if there was something you wanted to try to do with that, would be something you could add to the cookbook.
Yeah, we've got, let's see, I've got some special ingredients still. There were some blue hawk eggs. So we'll use that and the lion's meat to try and make something.
Yeah, like a lion, I don't know, lion hawk omelet or something. I don't know.
No, I think it'd be like a burger with an egg on top kind of
Okay,
thing.
okay. Lion burger with there you go. That's even better.
What was the thing from because it's like Sunny Side Up and the Lion King, like where all the light touches. Something like
Yes.
that. I don't know.
See, everywhere the light touches, that's where we'll roll.
Yeah.
What about that shadowy part?
So that is, was that a crafting check?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, I guess you can add it to your.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything
It
special.
doesn't do anything
but
real special, but yeah, it's probably not very tasty as
Yeah.
far as the meat
It's
is
not good.
concerned.
Yeah.
But
Not
you
the
tried.
best of specimens.
You're probably, I imagine at some point as you're eating it and you're realizing it's not as great as you'd hoped, you're like staring across the room at the goats thinking, man, I could have whipped up a gem with some goat meat. But anyway, as the morning arrives and you hear this bell or gong ringing through the tower, through the stairs from above, what's your plan of action?
Do you want to go up and investigate or just continue down?
We got all the way down.
Above us is the Spriggans.
Yeah.
We can only go up. So I think we could wait to see if the gong is summoning people to come down to us, because I'd rather have them come down single file rather than us go up single file. But if we wait a little while and they don't come down, we're going to go up. I don't think we've got any other choices.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure that the building's kind of cleared out behind us. I don't like this being sandwiched, surrounded thing.
Yeah, and after some time, nothing appears. You don't hear any movement either. You don't get the sense that anything's imminent from the gong. Do you want
Let's
to?
go let the
Yeah.
Spriggans know who now owns the tower.
Yep.
And what's your plan with your hostages that you've saved?
We'll tell them to follow behind if they want, but we can't
look out for
guarantee that we're gonna
fireballs.
get them.
Will you arm them?
We could
I
give
don't-
them why don't we give them the daggers?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I got an Ergothone dagger I can give them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they seem that would actually, I think, raise morale a little bit, that they feel like they can somewhat protect themselves suddenly.
I'll also let one of them take my crossbow.
I'll let Svetlana have your crossbow then.
All right.
Okay. All right, they'll follow then. They definitely feel like they can at least
Defend
defend
themselves to
themselves.
some extent.
We'll head back up. I'll move you guys over to the staircase. And unless there's anything else, we're gonna go up the stairs here with them behind you, maybe about 30 feet or so.
Yeah.
30 to
Be
50
like,
feet.
if everything goes well, no one will see you. Stay out of
Following
sight.
outside the fireball radius.
All right, so you emerge back again on the floor above where you first came down through the doors. So this door, I think, is still open. You had left this door open, and it remains open. So you can head through here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you kind of make your way back through. I'm gonna move you guys all together, and back in through this space. It looks the same, and then you come back out into the dining hall where you now see the animated skeleton again sitting at the table. The other two that you dispatched of remain
Just
dispatched of. So he sits there alone at the table and is just even like tapping his fingers across the table as you walk in.
I raised my Ugathoa cup to him, the one that I got. I didn't see it. I twitted, but and act like I'm taking a drink of it and keep on going by. I'm like,
Here's it and go on.
cheers, dude. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you guys can walk right by him. He does not appear to activate or anything as you do. But yeah, you walk through and back to
Can we?
yeah.
Can I stick around just to make sure that he doesn't attack the people following us?
I'll
yeah, we'll wave them on by.
Yeah.
I'll bring them up. Yeah, this would definitely be the first time that they've really seen any of this because they were brought in basically masked. They had no idea where they've been, what they've been doing.
Yeah.
So like their orientation is way off. So seeing something like this would be disturbing. And they would ease their way around the table towards the staircase and make their way past this thing. And it would eyeball them and probably at some point casually invite people to sit. Please sit. And just seems to be like just pleased with himself.
Business as usual almost.
Yeah. So you make your way up again then through the opening here. Oops, where are we now? So we're all the way.
I think he accidentally snagged up the skeleton.
Yeah, I did.
He can come with us if he's peaceful.
He doesn't mind.
Cheer you on.
Yeah.
All right.
You hang out with the kobolds.
So this is where you guys pop up, and I'm gonna have you first roll stealth checks to see what the situation is here when you reach the top of the steps. So
check.
you can roll
All right.
stealth. Yeah, roll stealth, and then we'll go from there. It's always Rekla.
I don't know how someone so small can have the hardest time being stealthy.
Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
so you guys are climbing to the top of the steps here. Maybe you are trying to keep somewhat quiet, but there's just been too much movement. And again, I think somehow or other, Rekla has found a way to make some noise by accident. And when you reach the top of the steps, two Spriggan gnomes that are looking at you from this top space up here, and they will kind of look at you for a second, Dalit, and I'll give you a chance to see if anyone wants to say anything. I guess you would all walk in on this.
Sydney will just scream at her, "Oi! Go get me Jimmy, or whatever the hell the other one's name was, the one from up on 3rd floor. But I'll literally like point at one of the 2 guards and make a command like, "Oh, you need to go get Jimmy."
So I think you could do what, like a
Performance? Deception?
performance? Yeah, deception. Someone, yeah, one or the other. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Or not.
So the answer is yes.
You shouldn't be up here.
You shouldn't be up here.
The old master's gonna hear about this one. I'd make your way back now before you do
I think
something
we
foolish.
should talk to the old master. I think we should take this to the old master. The old master needs to hear about this transgression. You're not on the right level of the tower.
Follow us.
Why are these slaves not tending the fire?
Follow us. They will offer to take you to the master.
I'm gonna go if nobody else.
I was gonna say.
No, I'm not following to the master.
I'd rather take them out one at a time rather than all of them at once.
But you're not allowed to be up here during these hours.
There you go.
Make your way
Right,
back
he's out.
down. Does anybody refuse?
When everyone else refuses to go, I'm gonna give him a shove on the stairs and like
Rekla will
see if I
attempt
can
to
shut the door real
intimidate him.
quick.
All right, go ahead. You can do one action to try to intimidate. What's your
I'm just giving him the look. I'm doing the intimidating glare thing.
I'll draw my sword.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I
God,
think
right.
Okay, yeah. Fenwarden will get some distance.
you need to take it up with Master.
Take out his bow.
And with that, they will draw their swords, so they are going to stand like ready.
He's got to do a will DC for the intimidating glare.
Let's see. Oh, that's a terrible roll.
So that's a critical success. He's frightened too.
Okay. Okay. Then they're maybe still frightened, but nonetheless arming themselves, feeling threatened.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys can go ahead and roll. You can roll initiative if you're gonna proceed with battle.
Yeah, I think we are gonna proceed.
We don't have to do this, y'all. Just go get Jimmy. He'll vouch for me. He's the one brought us down here.
All right. So we got these 2 guys. Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it did it that way, but okay. All right, so one of these Spriggins is going to bring up his... Oh, they're actually using morning stars. Oh, yes, I love this. I love that they have morning stars. All right, so he's actually going to step forward and swing his morning star. 27, I think, will be a hit. And then he will take a second attack, and that will be a critical miss.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
He should get a -2
Okay,
to
so
those because he's frightened. Or -1. Yeah, -2.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah, he still hits him though. He hits him right on, even with the bracers, I think.
Yeah.
But he will on this. Okay, so he just stumbled here, basically on the second attack and does not connect. The other one is gonna step forward as well and swing. Our tank is taking. Oops, is taking all the blows here. Miss, critical miss, critical miss, critical miss.
The first one isn't a critical.
Oh, I'm
miss,
sorry.
but the second
Okay, yeah. All right, so this one will take an AC penalty, the one on the top. Okay. All right. Reckless turn. You guys were, I think, just based on where we were with glaring at them and everything. I want to move everybody off the stairwell. Just, I think, reasonably, like you were able to talk with them and whatnot. Okay, go ahead.
Rekla is going to draw his wand of magic missiles, which is, I guess, wand of force barrage. Is that what it's called in Pathfinder?
I'm pretty sure there's magic missile.
Magic missile.
Is there magic missile?
Yeah.
I think magic
Okay.
missile is a copyright-free spell at this point.
All right, and I'm gonna use the last 2 actions to send 2 missiles at this guy. So I don't actually have the spell magic missile in my character sheet yet. So is it just 2d4? Or 1d4 per?
Yeah, I think it's 1d4
4
per
per
missile.
Yeah, okay. So 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay. All right. With that, you will trigger his growth, and he will blow up to. He will be enlarged now. He is now. Yeah, he's now a large creature. So,
Compensating for something?
all right. So he is. It is Fenwarden's turn.
Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna go after that big guy now, and I'll do the 100 shot.
Oh.
How's that
Ooh,
hit?
very nice.
Okay. Additional 4. Next shot. Ooh. Another
Yes.
16. Finally, he's doing the damage he should be doing. And then that's 1 action. I don't want to fumble. So let's see. I think he'll. I better count my movement. He's going to just move. Sorry, 25. Yeah, he'll get down there. And then he'll raise his shield. That shield spell, that is.
Okay. All right. Sydney.
Oh, wait, is there a wall there? I can't see now.
There is a wall there. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. No, he's not going to run there then. He's going to have to go. Dang, where can I go then? No, he'll just have to go back here then. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Sydney?
Yeah, so I'm not super excited about being trapped up against the wall here. I'm going to move to, I'm going to go over there. So my first action, I will move here.
Okay.
I don't know if there's some bags or something that I can beat on, but I'm going to try and steady my crossbow. And I think I'm going to try and put a bolt in this now enlarged Spriggan.
Okay. Go for it. Oh, that is a critical miss.
Oh. How do I do the critical thing? It's 1d.
You go over, yeah, if you just go over to the collection tab, should be a weapon fumble under rollable tables.
Sorry, I found this before. I can do this.
the tab
There it is,
next
there it
to
is.
settings.
Yeah, I just found it.
This wasn't a melee weapon, so it's just going to be a AC penalty. Okay. All right. Not as juicy as I thought at first. All right. Dalit, I think, is up then if you're done.
Yeah, I will use my third action to do the first of 2 actions to reload the crossbow.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Dalit.
I think the first thing that I'm going to do. I guess the first thing I'm going to do is attack this guy, the one that's just directly in front of me.
Yeah. Wow, that is a critical.
Yes.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh god, I have weapon specialization for that too. Oh no, I don't. Never mind. Otherwise, sword is special.
It will trigger his as well. He will grow as well.
I guess I'll roll on the crit table. I haven't been able to do that yet today.
There is a
Soon as I
chance
can
that you could
find
do more, so that's always fun.
the crit table. There we go.
Full damage to his armor.
Oh, Dex is halved. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So in addition to that, okay, got it. Nice.
Okay. Alright, got that one. And then I will. I guess I'll just do a combat grab and attack again.
Yeah, that will
Why
connect.
did
That's
that
weird
roll
how it rolled that
damage?
way, though. Yeah. Normally,
Yeah.
normally it rolls the whole thing.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, I see. Yes, but the attack roll hit. You did grab him, and you do
Yeah.
some more damage. Okay. Got it.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I'll just try third attack.
Yeah.
That hit. It doesn't kill him, but damn, you were close. Damn, you were close. That was a good turn. Really good turn.
All right, I'll take it.
All right. So it is now the bullies' turn. The Spriggan bullies, they call them. So the one that's really teetering on the edge up there is going to. Let's see. I guess that's. Yeah, he's going to use his bully's bludgeon, which just gives him a +2 to his Morning Star, and this is going to go against Dalit. That is going to
Critical miss.
should save him from the critical miss with the 2 on it.
Oh yeah, +2.
Unfortunately, but so he missed horribly on that. Will he attempt a second hit? I think he'll attempt the second hit towards Rekla. And oh, that might be a critical miss on Rekla. What's no
19,
okay.
no.
Okay, but it's a miss. All right, so he missed. I think with that, he's gonna grab something out of his pouch with his last
I'm going to take an
action.
attack of opportunity for that.
Okay.
Oh,
Miss. All right. The other one is going to attack at Rekla as well. He's right on him. And he didn't use his bully's bludgeon, or that would have been a crit. But he does 8 damage with the bludgeon.
Okay.
You can't imagine this thing. It's like a gnome that's blown up and is attacking a small gnome. Weird. Right? It's okay, so now
Yeah, it's the antithesis of a gnome.
right? He knows your biggest fear. It's just a bigger gnome. His second attack is okay, there's the crit
That's
miss.
a critical miss.
And oops, did I roll the critical hit? Excuse me. Oh, wow. All right, so he has to pass a savings throw, which in this case, what does he need? This is a Morning Star. It's basically,
snapping the chain off of that sucker.
yeah. Oh, is
Oh,
that
dear.
good or bad? I'm trying to, it's a savings throw, so it's, I don't know. It's,
Oh, it's critical failed.
yeah, so the Morning Star basically like snaps to the point that the ball goes flying off the end of it across the room and comes rolling to a stop across the room, making it really more like of a club now than a Morning Star. So that's it for him. He's not going to have any other attacks. So it's back to Rekla.
I feel like they have this
Okay.
giant forge and they should be able to make decent weapons with it.
All right, Rekla's gonna send off 3 magic missiles. 1 to the guy that Dalit's holding, and 2 to the other guy.
Okay.
So here's the one Dalit has in his grasp. 4.
It dies in your arms. Sadly, Dalit. It dies just looking
And then the
sadly
other
in the
one.
eye.
5.
Always happens to me.
Probably not as sad as the 12 eyes that stared at the fireball that
She yelled, "I'm hiding in darkness!"
For a brief moment, they got to see the sun again.
yeah. They just went towards the light. They just kept going. Okay, so you did 5 more to this one. Okay, so this one's feeling it as well now. All right. Anything else, Rekla?
No, that's the end.
All right, Fenwarden has a strike 11. Okay, he's hurting pretty good now.
Another 8. That's a miss.
Miss,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a miss.
Emboldened by Dalit, he'll try a third strike. Nah.
You want to hero point it?
Oh, that's good again.
Oh,
That's a hit, and that
All right.
will kill him.
Nice.
Yay.
Spent hero point.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you need to. I figured I'd remind you had one still, and you were so close. So he's dead. He falls with that arrow shot to the ground. At which point they shrink back to their normal size.
So big now, huh?
But one of them has a good morning star, and the other one has a broken morning star. They also have crossbows, both of them, and they wear leather armor.
Might as well give the weapons to the slaves that were
Yeah.
setting
Yeah.
loose.
You also find amongst their pouches, one of them was reaching for a potion.
And what is the
Potion.
potion of?
It is a healing potion, minor healing potion. And then you also find 13 gold.
Dolly, you need a restock on those, right?
Yeah, he needs them bad. 13 gold and 46 silver pieces amongst the
Nice.
bodies
Okay.
as well
Hey.
here. So you've been able to clear this group out. I don't think you've really spent any time on this level before, but
Oh, we just walked through last time.
yeah, I think we'll pick up here. I know we're gonna end here in a second, but you get the sense that the Spriggins and the Ergothoans had some arrangement that might have been more than just office space. Okay, for their forge, that the Spriggins might be involved in bringing them some of their ingredients, let's call it. And this floor would have evidence of the fact that they very likely have brought them most of their materials. And this is where they trade and store some of those materials that are used. So they're definitely enabling the Ergothoans more than just giving them room to run, would be the revelation on this floor. As far as anything in this room that's of these rooms of interest, we can get into that next session. As far as anything else you might discover, that's what you're piecing together as you make your way back up. And the master, as you're thinking now, you may not be sure, like, if it's an Argothoan or a Spriggan or something else.
Who's the mastermind behind all this?
Who is it?
Yes.
We don't know, but we'll find out. So that's it. We'll pause here unless anyone
Awesome.
else has anything else they want to add to the end of this.
No.
I did not get from you what the Ugathoan cup did. I forgot to write that one down. I got all the other ones.
Yeah, let me give you that at the beginning of next. Let me leave a note here because I have a note about that somewhere and I can't find it a second. Identify. Perfect. Okay, real quick. So we'll go back to our normal scheduled time, which would be Tuesday of next week, if everybody's good with that. It's tax day,
Yep.
so unless you could miss the game if you want to do your taxes. But otherwise, I'll plan to see you on the 15th. So thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Great.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for
Later.
meeting you. Right. Bye.